Hello, friends. This is Parag here, your host on Stay Strong podcast. It's my promise to bring you the best of the best information in the field of kettlebells, kettlebell sport, and strength and conditioning. I'm so very glad that this podcast is reaching nationally everywhere in a very short time. Plus, it has also been appreciated globally. Today, we have a guest from Australia. Her name is Maxine Smith, who is 67 years of age. This is my first guest, and I'm interviewing her, who is above 65. I'm so very happy that she accepted my proposal to be on this podcast and share her journey, her experience. She started kettlebell sporting journey little later in the age, that is 57, and since 10 years she's lifting kettlebells. In 2013, she met with an accident where she broke her arm, and she underwent a rehabilitation. After rehabilitation, she started lifting kettlebells and achieved the highest rank of kettlebell sport, MSWC, which is called Master of Sports World Class. I'm so very happy that I'm going to interact with her to understand more of her training programs, her nutrition, what does she think, and how it is going to help a lot of women here out in India to get into strength and conditioning, fitness, and kettlebells, and to inspire people to stay strong as they progress with the age. It is very difficult to maintain the fitness post 50 if you are not doing any kind of strength training program. And such information and podcast and interaction with kettlebell sport athletes would give the deep insight to understand more what they think and how they program their entire day, how they balance their work life, and what kind of priorities does the exercise have. Please help me welcome Maxine Smith from Victoria, Australia. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Stay Strong podcast. Thank you very much for joining me and checking out the podcast every week. We have exciting guests. Every time I try to look forward to interact with the women who are above 50. And today we have Maxine from Victoria, Australia, and she's 67. And I'm so excited to speak to her. And she's going to share her kettlebell sport journey, as well as she's also going to share her experience about kettlebell sporting. She got MSWC, how did she prepare, what nutrition she takes, and a lot of other things. So welcome, Maxine, to the Stay Strong podcast. Over to you. Please introduce yourself, your professional and your fitness background.
Okay. Well, hello, Parag, and thank you very much for having me on your podcast. It's quite an honor. It really is.
Thank you. So yeah, please share me your professional background first before we get into the sporting event, whatever you have done. Yeah.
So currently I'm a medical secretary and I work for an orthopedic surgeon. So, and I've done that for 20 years. Prior to that, I was trained as a teacher, which I didn't like. And then I had my own business. So, but this job I'm currently doing.
Okay, great. And what brings you to kettlebell sport? Maybe did you had some kind of experience earlier, like checking out some videos on the YouTube and you really wanted to get into it? How formally you got introduced to kettlebell sport?
Completely informally, actually. So when I was 57, so 10 years ago, I was starting to feel old and tired. So my daughter-in-law was going to a personal trainer at the time. And she said to me, well, maybe you should go to my personal trainer and get a bit fitter. So I started going to Rock Hard Kettlebells and Training here in Bendigo with Don Grant. And it just went from there, basically.
So you got introduced to sport 10 years back, you say? That is at the age of 57, 58, right?
Yes.
So that's a very huge experience when it comes to kettlebells, and especially the experience after 57, which is very important, especially for the women who are out here in 40, 45. They're saying, oh, I don't want to lift weights. It is not for me, not good for me. This is going to be a very inspiring for a lot of women out here. And of course, it will be inspiring for many women in the world, because you started very late and you have achieved MSWC, which is Master of Sport World Class, which is very rare. So I would like to congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Great. So who is the person who introduced you to kettlebell sport, and which was your first kettlebell competition?
So Don Grant, who is very well known in Australia, you'd call him a master coach, I guess, of kettlebells, and well known.
I've heard of him. Yeah. Yes.
So he owns the gym that I go to.
Okay.
And in 2016, Australia took their first team to the IKMF Worlds in Denmark.
Okay.
And I'd been training with Don for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And was fortunate enough to make the team and represent Australia.
Okay. So that was in which year?
2016, so Denmark.
2016. Okay, so that was your first official competition which you played?
The first international one, yes.
Okay, and prior to that, did you play any national or state competitions in Australia?
Yeah, there were local competitions and state ones, yes.
Okay. How was your experience to travel to Denmark and compete? Because being this first experience for you, I'm sure you must be quite excited to travel. So if you can share your experience, how it was.
Okay. Well, to be part of a sporting team was an amazing experience because I'd never done that before, not in any sport at all. Prior to kettlebells, I'd just been a walker, basically. And done some trekking internationally, but no team sport. So to be part of a team was an amazing experience. And one I value to this day. The experience in Denmark was wonderful. The first experience of anything is usually wonderful, but it was very memorable, and we had a great time. And Australia, I think, surprised the rest of the world by doing very well.
Your team is very strong, and I also met your team in Poland for World Championships. I'm not sure if you were there, but in Poland, that is 2019. Did you came to Poland?
Yes, I did. I competed there, and we may have spoken.
I guess it's been a while. Yeah, and I think I'm not really able to recollect if you have met, but I'm sure I saw you and few other women in a veteran group lifting kettlebells. So yeah, it's a small world, and I'm sure we are going to meet up soon.
Yeah, so Poland was obviously my last opportunity to travel, but I'd been to Denmark, Italy, Spain, and then Poland prior.
Okay. So what was your first lift, Maxine? That is in Denmark. What did you lift? Did you long cycle or did you snatch?
Half snatch for marathon.
Okay. So that was with 12 kilos?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Wow, great. So Don got introduced you to kettlebells, and now after 10 years of training, do you train by yourself or does Don still trains you? Do you
Don
have
still
a coach?
Trains me.
Oh, okay.
He still battles on with me.
Okay, that's great. So how is your experience of training with coach and without coach? Have you ever tried to train without coach?
No, I haven't, because I think as you age, it's really important to have a coach.
Yes.
There are lots of injuries that you can have as you age because it's natural for your body to react differently to when you're young. Yes. So I think it's really good to have a coach keeping an eye on you, particularly in relation to technique.
Yes.
Because if you don't have the right technique, you leave yourself open to injuries.
Yes.
If you overtrain, you may not bounce back like you did when you were 20, 30 or 40.
Yes.
To me, that's really important,
yes.
to have a coach to do the programming and keep an eye on things.
Yes.
The other thing for me is to be part of a team. So I think if I were to try to self-coach or online coach, it would be a struggle. Yes. Because for me, the team and being part of the team is a big driver in keeping me motivated. Yes. And keeping me feeling connected to everybody. Yes. So COVID was quite difficult to manage for
Yes.
me
Yes.
in relation to that.
Yes. 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 Yeah, it's so great to know that even at this age you have a coach and you are keeping up the pace. So this is very important to know me and other people who are checking out on our podcast is as we age, like as we grow older, uh, there are chances that if we are doing any exercise incorrect, we might land up into the injury. That's the first thing. Second, we usually try to give up soon. Okay, if you are at the age of 25, 20, 25 or 30, your chances of taking risk are very high. But when you progress 40 plus, 50 plus, you're 60 plus, um, our mind is not really ready to take up any risk. How do you manage this risk? So what is your risk appetite? So yeah, maybe uh, you you look up some videos which are motivational, or do you speak to someone who will motivate you? How do you keep motivated yourself to do the sport?
Well, I work for an orthopedic surgeon,
Okay.
and we see a lot of sports injuries, and we do mostly hip and knee replacements.
Okay.
So the clients that come through are not in a good way normally.
Okay.
So that's a huge motivation to be very careful. So I see people come in for hip and knee replacements that are much younger than me, possibly very overweight.
Yes.
And they are struggling. So the motivation for me to look after myself and keep doing this is to not end up on the other side of the counter.
Yes. Yes.
To not end up visiting my surgeon
Yes.
any more than absolutely necessary for an accident, for example.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, but you have never had an experience of doing weight training or strength training earlier in your life. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? You have never done weight training or strength training
No.
at the age of maybe 30, maybe 40, maybe 50, maybe
No.
55, 57, maybe. No, right? You've been
No.
walking, so...
Only heavy grocery bags.
Yes, most important, yes. But see, if you are not exposed to lifting weights, how did you manage to lift weight? If you understand the question,
yes.
yeah. I mean, was Don playing a very important role? Of course, he's a coach, but what was your mindset to lift the weights?
Well, Don was 100% of what kept me doing this and the value of it and the importance of it. He would talk all the way through a session about the importance of staying strong as we age and things like that.
Yes.
How I came to be doing kettlebells instead of general fitness was that in 2013, which was only a few months after I started training with Don for general fitness, I had an accident and broke my right arm very badly.
Oh, okay.
So Don was in charge of the rehab program, basically.
Okay.
So he used actually kettlebells as part of getting my strength back, and a very gentle and very sculptured and appropriate program. And I guess the love of it grew maybe because, I started to feel stronger, and, my recovery from the injury was so good.
Okay.
Just kept going.
Okay. So can you throw a little highlight on how did this accident occur, and maybe what did you break exactly? Did you break the wrist or did you break the bone of your forearm?
I broke both bones.
Okay.
Quite traumatic injury. One bone had come through the skin.
Okay.
I was actually up the ladder getting the cobwebs from the ceiling, and the ladder broke.
Oof. Okay.
So I came tumbling down with the ladder.
Okay.
And hit my arm on the frame of the ladder going down when it landed on the floor. So both bones just snapped. So both bones have serious plating and screwing, which will stay in there forever.
Okay, so what was this year it happened? Uh,
2013.
2013. Okay, so it's been a while now,
Mm.
but after that you really bounced back and
Yes, so
started
three and a
lifting.
half
Yes.
years after that injury, I
Okay.
represented Australia in Denmark.
Amazing, amazing. That's one of the inspirational story which people are going to check it out. And because for me, the most important part here is the ability to think and get back to the sport after such kind of trauma accident is it's very inspiring, Maxine, and I really congratulate you. And it's really great to bounce back and come back again and then do a MSWC. So it's going to be the best information and the inspiration what our viewers are going to get. Uh, yeah, going ahead in this entire process, like for example, if you're doing kettlebells or if not doing kettlebells, maybe you're on season, off season, do you have any kind of supplements apart from the whey protein or the basic supplement, staple supplement? Do you take supplements at this age?
No,
Very important for me to know.
I feel a little bit embarrassed to say I don't take any supplements or
Okay.
any whey, anything, nothing, just a regular diet that my family have, that we eat at home here.
Okay.
Nothing, no medications, no supplements, no diet plan.
Wow, that's great. So are you like a vegetarian, vegan, or non-vegetarian? What I mean, what
just
diet?
regular Australian food, meat and 3 veg or meat and salad. It's very simple. I don't eat wheat or pasta.
Okay.
Only because it upsets my stomach.
Okay.
But just meat, red meat, white meat. I'm not keen on fish.
Okay.
So mostly just red meat or white meat and vegetables or salad.
Okay. That's nice. Looking at you, your circle, whoever is there, like your friends, your colleagues, of similar age, are they doing kettlebells or they just push you?
So in my team at Rock Hard, obviously they all do kettlebells, so we all support and encourage each other. In my social circle outside my team, so my husband and my friends, they're actually all very keen cyclists. I'm scared of the push bike. I'm too scared to ride it. But our other friends all stay fairly fit because they ride push bikes. Okay,
so all these, whoever are doing, people are post 60, like they're 60 plus? Oh, okay, interesting. So, but they are not doing kettlebells, that is what you're saying. Okay.
No, they're bike riding.
So, we all have good and bad people around us who really push us up and who really say, oh, what are you doing? Your age is 65, 67. Have you encountered such people?
No.
Okay.
No. Most people are really supportive.
Okay.
And I don't think I've encountered anyone who tells me I'm mad to do it. I think my boss, the orthopedic surgeon, is waiting to have to put me back together at some point. He doesn't understand kettlebell sports all that well, so he thinks that I'll injure my shoulder, but he's wrong, I won't. Touch wood, I won't.
Yes.
But no, everyone in my circle is very supportive.
Okay, that's great. And your family members, they must be proud of you.
I think they are. Yes, I think they are. I'm just mum and nana to them, really.
Okay.
And I just go about doing my kettlebell things where I can grab the time because the family will always be the priority.
Yes.
So I try not to say no to them.
Okay.
In favor of kettlebells. I try and slot the kettlebells in where I'm not going to be saying I can't do that for you because I've got to go to kettlebells.
Yes.
I like to keep the balance in my life.
Yes.
Very balanced.
Yes, that's really nice. So when we are training for sporting event, Well, of course, if it is a kettlebells, we're talking about kettlebells, but usually we have two parts. We have a GPP training and we have kettlebells, like a primary training. So my question is, do you do strength training at this age? What is your frequency of training? Do you train 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and how well do you recover?
Oh, okay. So prior to COVID, I would train 5 times a week.
Okay.
Since COVID, it's 3 times a week. Okay. But I've also got a new grandchild that I like to spend time with. So that little baby is a priority at the moment.
Okay.
So it's 3 times a week, and Don is responsible for the programming. Yes. So it's always a part of it is kettlebells and part of it is GPP.
Okay, so typically you train for an hour or maybe a little more than that?
An hour twice a week during the week, and then I think it's 2 to 2.5 hours on the weekend in one session.
Okay. Do you also add cardio sessions in your training programs? Like, for example, do you run, do you row, do you swim, do you do maybe, you said you don't like cycling, so what is that do you add for your endurance or cardio sessions?
I don't add anything, Parag.
You're doing marathon, that is more than sufficient. Yeah.
But I'm a bit busy at the moment, but no, I don't add anything other than perhaps going, for a few walks at the moment.
Okay, so you lift weights, right, Maxine, now?
No.
I'm saying, no? Okay. I mean to say, so do you do squat, do you do deadlifts?
Oh, they're part of the GPP program.
Yes, that's what my question is. So you do the squat and you do the deadlifts?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't mind, can you tell us like how much do you squat, whatever the number is, like, or maybe if you are doing deadlift, like if you are doing deadlift, like what is your weight do you lift? Or do you do high rep training, or do you do like more of intense training?
I'm not doing any barbell training at the moment with those weights. So just the kettlebells, and as part of the group sessions. So, maybe deadlift a 20 kilo for however many reps Don tells me to do, really.
Yes. Well, primarily for the marathon that is what is you're mastering marathon, and if you're doing a lot of marathons, like as you said that you're doing a lot of competitions with IKMF, then it's primarily focused more on marathon. So yeah, I mean, even if your GPP has a lot of marathon training program, that really helps your main kettlebell set. So, which is really great. Yeah. Wow. That's nice. So we typically have 10-minute classic event, which is 10-minute event. And we have marathon. So which event do you choose, and which are you more friendly with? Say, for example, some people master marathon and they really do not want to do 10-minute classic event. Some people do both. Some people do only 10-minute classic. So what is your call on that?
Well, for the past few years, we've just focused on half marathon and marathon and maybe pentathlon. That just more recently, since lockdowns and COVID, I've taken a little bit more interest in some of the 10-minute events, just for variety and because it's easier to find the snippets of time to train. So at the moment, I'm just preparing for the Cali Open next week, Californian Open, which is a 10-minute event.
Yes.
And then when that finishes, I'll move over to the half marathon. Prepare for half marathon.
Okay. Interesting. Great. So you do mix of both?
Yes. I'm probably only coming to do that now. I guess one of the things I'm noticing with aging is that sometimes the half marathon and marathon are getting a bit hard. So it's a 10-minute event seems to be less confronting than a half an hour. It's something I'm looking at the moment, is whether as you age, get into the late 60s and closer to 70, whether the 10-minute events are perhaps not as draining on the body as the half hour, an hour.
Okay, got it.
I don't know. It's just something I'm going to experiment with.
Okay. No, I'm sure you'll be successful in both. Yeah, of course, 30 minutes is very hard when it comes to cardio, and it is not like you're doing only 6-7 repetitions a minute. That's not marathon. You need to really go behind it and get the numbers very high, and that is what marathon is all about. So yeah, and of course you have made a right choice, and I'm sure coach must be also checking you out that, okay, Maxine, you have to do this, you have to do this, which guideline is very important when it comes to coach, because at times you're not able to see yourself when you are in frame, right? You understand what I say. So that is why the coach is very important, and whatever he says and whatever you decide is good for you and good for the team.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's nice. Great. So, Maxine, you're Master of Sports World Class, which is highest rank in Kettlebell Sport, which is very rare. And you have done that. You have done your country proud. You have done yourself proud. I would like to know what is your best Kettlebell Sport lifting records in marathon and in 10-minute classics. For example, if you're doing half snatch with 12 kg, what is the number? Maybe if you're lifted 16 kilo, what is the number? I want to know those numbers.
Oh, I don't have the numbers handy with me.
Right. Any rough idea?
I think that...
We'll check it out on maybe socials, maybe.
Yeah, so it's on the IKMF website under best results, and I have the current record in half marathon, 14 kilo half snatch.
Okay.
And half marathon, 12 kilo half snatch.
Okay.
And 2 hours half snatch with an 8 kilo.
2 hours, okay.
But I don't actually recall the numbers at the time. I know that the 2 hour one was 2,188 reps.
Okay.
In the 2 hours, but the other ones I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. The 2 hour event was a special occasion. What it was?
We ran that in Bendigo a few years ago, and the whole team did a super marathon in Bendigo. So that was a good experience to do.
Okay. So that's nice. So that was like a couple of years before.
Before COVID, probably 5 years ago, I think.
Okay. Maxine, do you have, after lifting kettlebells 10 years back until today, do you have any negative experience of kettlebells?
No.
Anything?
No, nothing. There is nothing negative about kettlebells. It's a very portable sport. It's affordable.
Yes.
You don't need a big space to train. You can train at home if you want to.
Yes.
It's probably a very user-friendly sport for all age groups, is what I would deem it as.
Yes. It's tough sport as well, even though it's very affordable and very easy to do, but it is tough as well simultaneously.
It is tough. I have a favorite saying that has got me through many competitions and tougher times, which is where your mind takes you, your body will follow. So it's a mindset. You have to see that end goal, see where you want to be.
Yes.
To get there. But if you tell yourself you're not feeling well when you start the lift, you won't lift well.
Yes, for sure.
So, and I think that's a saying that applies for pretty much everything in life.
Pretty much, yes. That's a very good lesson and very good inspiration for the viewers here. And I'm sure they must be taking a lot of information. I have learned a lot today, at least. So, great. Yeah, we are pretty much on the end of the podcast. What strong message would you want to give to the women lifters out here in India, or maybe other women who are post 45, 50, want to enter kettlebell sport, or rather want to enter any sport? What is your message to them?
Well, I gave this quite some thought when you posed that question to me, and my message is to them to think of their families and do this for their families, because we as mothers and grandmothers are the best benefit to our families if we are well and we are strong and we are healthy, and we can help them with whatever comes across their life through their life journey. So we are doing them a great service to say stay strong, stay fit, and stay healthy for our families, for our children and our grandchildren. And I think it sets a very good example for them, for the future generations, of the importance of staying a good body weight and staying strong and active. But I would also say to them that life balance is vital, to not become obsessed with it to the point where you shut other life opportunities out because you're so worried about missing a training session or a competition, to keep it in perspective.
Interesting. Great. Wow, that's why my name of the podcast is also Stay Strong. So, our primary goal is to take care of ourselves first, and rest of the things will just fall in its place. They need to be able to pick up all their grandbabies when they get older and not get a sore back. So they need to lift kettlebells so that they can do that. Interesting. Great. Thank you, Maxine, for your time, for your valuable time and lessons and the learnings. I wish you loads of luck. I wish you that you will lift kettlebells for another 2 decades. And I wish that this is just the starting journey for you. I wish you an Australian team and your coach, your family, the very best. And I look forward to meet you someday.
Thank you. We hope to see you in Australia.
Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Parag. Bye.